Welcome everyone to Games XP Championship. We are here with another match for you guys. Best of 3 between Furious Gentz and Schism Esports. And it's been a while since we've seen a couple of these rosters. These two rosters in particular have swapped up here and there, found a couple new players, and today in particular there's some changes on both sides of the spectrum here. Furious Gentz, of course, have recently left behind S Commander and C9 Smoothie and have picked up Rebel Fox from their sub roles and the support, as well as their substitute player Bruce Juice. And on the side of Schism, we're going to see Laxon actually playing the support role today over Backpack, and as well as Stevenator, I believe, playing the mid lane now instead of D-lane. So a couple changes here and there for both teams to adjust against each other in case they had some plans going on here, but looking forward to an interesting match. And for those of you just joining us, I'm here in Castle. I'm Skyson now, and I'm here with Cinco Gazer.
Hello.
But I believe that we will be setting up a pro draft to start off the pick ban phase. So if we'll be going over to that, then we'll give that a look-see. But I'm going to make sure that's what we're doing. That's what I've been told we're doing.
Yes, so Skyson, curious, what's your prediction for the outcome of this match?
Across the board, and I look at what Schism has been up to in the recent weeks versus the Furious Gents, I'd say it's the obvious choice is to say this is a quick 2 over Schism. But I think there's moves to be made on the side of Furious Gents. I think that Songless himself has been putting out a lot of work now, the owner of the team, along with a little bit of adjustments here and there now that they have Rebel Fox on the support. It'll be a little bit of a fresh breath of fresh air for the bot lane, as well as the pickup of Potty Williams has been pretty good for them. He's been seen doing a lot of good things early, so I'm interested to see what the Gents bring, but I think as the objective observer, anyone would say this should be a 2-0 for Schism.
I agree. I think that it is possible for the Gents to pick a game off of Schism. I think it's going to be very hard with the E-sub, of course, just because there's not going to be any synergy between him and Rebel Fox. I do think that the loss of S Commander hurts them specifically in this match, but they should be able to rebound fairly well if they end up picking up a legitimate AD carry main further down the line.
I agree. So we will be getting into this spectate very soon. I'm looking forward to. I'm not sure what bands I want to see here. Of course, we've seen a lot from Schism recently. We've seen a lot of breakout performances from their AD carry. The recent pickup of Carmony, I believe he's played now 3 weeks with this team, and it's had very great success for most of their games, and a lot of they're starting to adapt a lot more of their compositions and a lot more of their team fights to play around him. And you see it a lot with teams in this league. That it's happened a lot with teams like Phoenix Rising and a little bit of White Lotus. You see a lot of the gather around their AD carry and sort of boost him to victory, and he will right click on everybody, and at the end of the day they'll all be dead and he'll still be alive. So Schism is sort of adapting into that composition. I'm starting to see a lot of. You see not as many of the solo carries come out as you did from the the Ari picks, and sort of dealing on Goddard on the aggressive junglers looking to put some kills in his own pocket. You're seeing a lot more of that standard AD carry is the carry type compositions coming out of Schism, and I think it's working out for them for the most part.
Yes, especially with Backpack's tendency to play Soraka, and of course Schism's last match, which I believe was just yesterday, the day before. Both games, Stevenator played Zilean mid, which, as we know, is pretty popular right now. Pretty much for the ability to ult your AD carry and bring them back to full life. Pretty good utilities, the slows, the double bomb stun.
Right, definitely. I would say, especially bringing out the Zilean is a lot of confidence and a lot of a faith pick to put into your AD carry. We've seen it happen, even in this league, we've seen it happen a lot with Zilean mid onto one of those more late-game carry-focused AD carries. We've seen it on the Jinx, on the Xayah, and things like that, and Carmony, a very notable Xayah player. He came onto the scene when I believe Schism's first set. I believe he played Xayah in both games, and it was to very great effect. So it's interesting to see the difference between... I don't believe I've actually seen Carmony play with Laxon. I believe Carmony has only played with Backpack in the games I've played, which the differential in support playstyles that Laxon brings to the table versus Backpack, where Laxon is very more of that aggressive playmaking type support, where Backpack is more willing to let Carmony sort of take the wheel and sort of be there to protect him in times of need. So it'll be interesting to see that Laxton's sort of in-your-face playstyle supporting doesn't really conflict with what Carmony's looking for here. But we'll be getting here in a pick ban phase now. We have the pro draft up. We started through the initial wave of bans. The Oriana and Zillion going to come out immediately from Furious Gentz. Don't want to see Stevenator giving any of those utility-type control mages, as well as Shen.
Yeah, I know that Maverick is basically a Shen one-trick in solo queue, but we've seen him play quite a bit of different things in the actual tournament. Just recently he played Maokai. I think in the last game that he played, I cannot recall what team that was against. Obviously, in the Purple Cobras matchup, there was the Pass the Scion minigame going on. So,
right.
I'm not really sure how effective the Shen ban is going to be because Maverick has shown that he is proficient on all these different tanks. I probably would have preferred to have that ban somewhere else.
I definitely would have probably placed the ban around Xayah. Honestly, I don't know. At least an AD carry. I think they would have wanted to try and do what they can to limit out.
Yeah, I agree. I really not a big fan of the Shen ban. They're going to pick away Carmony's Jhin, though. Probably a good idea, but you have to wonder, again, how well it's going to be with Xayah still open. They can just pick Xayah, and I mean, that's pretty much the ultimate AD carry to defend her and Tristana. So
Yes, but they are going to go for the Kaisa here on the side of Schism, and they're going to back it up with the Braum. Of course, Braum very effective at stopping the Jhin ultimate, stopping a lot of things, and of course, if we see that Furious Gentz may go for that Ornn in the top lane or something like that, Braum's a very good initial pickup to sort of negate the threat of that Ornn if it were to come out, but it looks like they're going to go for the Urgot here. For Skyland Seer, I imagine. We have seen a little bit of Urgot mid, but I don't think it's going to be in Songless's pool.
No, I think that Urgot should really only be played top lane because of his zoning ability. But this is interesting. Urgot's a really strong champion right now. He kind of falls off a little bit in the late game, especially in team fights, but he is a magnificent early game bully. Has a really, really strong level 6. He's pretty much everything you could want from a top laner in this sort of context. But I think that Scion is one of his hardest counters, and it's something that, again, Maverick has shown that he's pretty good on. So I think that perhaps the Urgot pick was not what they needed.
Yeah, I was going to say, going for the Urgot early says a lot about what they want to do in terms of sort of putting on that early game aggression. And I think that the Shen ban didn't really work out in their favor. I think that they were looking for the Scion ban there because Scion is much more willing to sort of duke out in the lane and not really, I guess not interact, but not really willing to sort of scrap with an Urgot who's looking to sort of bully out the other laner, get them very low, and get them into the threshold for his ultimate so he can be a constant threat. But Scion is so beefy and durable between his shield and constantly gaining health off his W passive that it becomes a lot harder for Urgot to really harass him and eventually would just run himself out of mana in the process.
Yeah, I think that we're going to see a pretty boring top lane. Probably just a farm fest, Scion doing Scion stuff, Urgot trying to poke him out with being unsuccessful. But I could be wrong. Obviously, Sky has shown himself to be a pretty decent top laner, especially on some of the more unconventional picks like Akali. Mm-hmm. So there is potential, but I do think that it is going to be a lost top lane for the side of FG.
That's fair. It's interesting, too, because you see that Hottie Williams is locked in that Olaf, and I know Hottie Williams, from his time on Alien Gaming, even, was very notable as a very aggressive, sort of seeking out these early game ganks, and Olaf, a very notorious champion for being able to really burst through a camp, get himself into a lane, and just start a gank by throwing an axe. And if he lands an axe, then he's just going to run in and make something happen. So I think we could expect to see Hottie Williams maybe look to the map, maybe look to force Skyland Seer to put Maverick into a fight in the top lane and get him to some reasonable threshold of health, and then maybe bring Hottie Williams up there for assistance. But we are going to see, after the Ziggs ban and the Morgana ban, we are going to see Songless pick up that Echo, one of his other traditional picks. He isn't going to go for the Ahri here, but he's going to pick up the Echo for that.
Yeah, Echo is decent here. I definitely would have preferred Ahri, though. Just because Ahri is so outrageously strong right now. One of the top tier mid laners in solo queue with like Acid and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not really fair to judge a champion's competitive strength off their strength in solo queue, but I think that Ahri's pretty good in both. I mean, she can team fight, she can land picks, she has high mobility. Pretty much does everything that you would want Echo to do, but from range, and is typically a lot safer.
Yeah, well, I look at it now, and now that I look at the draft that they've put together, that on the side of Schism, that now with the Jarvan and the Galio, is a very of course a very important thing that happens a lot with compositions like these is sort of the surviving the R button combo. And if you look at Schism, you see the Jarvan Cataclysm, you see the Scion ultimate, the Braum ultimate, into the Galio ult, and you can tell that they are looking for one of those clustered fights. They're looking for the pile on top of you, get all of our R buttons off, knock you up into oblivion, and leave nobody behind. So I think that the interesting thing that Songless has gone for here he's gone for sort of an attempted edge with the Echo, where he has the parallel convergence shield, where he's able to, maybe if he's able to see a fight coming, he's able to sort of set up that W shield on top of himself, and maybe a counter to those incoming, layers of CC that are being brought in, because of course, jumping onto the Echo as the shield's coming onto him will end up stunning anybody that enters the sphere. So it's an interesting countermeasure. I think if he can plan a little bit in ahead, foreseeing that sort of dive that's going to come onto him and the rest of his team from the Jarvan Galio, that it's an interesting tool that I think Echo has in his kit. And I think the other interesting thing here is Sona. Sona, the pickup from Rebel Fox here. Sona, I don't know. I've always found her to be a very middling support pick. I've always found her to sort of be the support that does it all, like sort of the jack of all. She has the CC, she has the AoE CC, she has a heal, she has poke damage, but I feel like it's rough to have that in the support role when you have these different champions that sort of do one of her jobs better. And it's very hard to find a use for Sona when you have these champions like Lulu and even Nami, who sort of accomplish the same things she's looking for in a much narrow window and are much more durable than her. Sona, of course, a very squishy champion to deal with the likes of Braum, Jarvan, and even Kai'Sa popping her off with that passive.
Yeah, I actually can't even remember the last time I saw Sona in a competitive setting, so this will be interesting. I agree with a lot of stuff you said. She's simply just too squishy to really be able to make an impact, especially against something like Yarvin, if he cataclysms you in bot lane, you're done. That's it. Game's over. Yeah,
so this Jhin Sona lane in particular is going to be very susceptible to Jarvan ganks. There's really no mobility on the pair of them, and it's going to be on a lot of the newly shuffled in bot lane of Furious Gents to really try to put on a show here against Schism, who very much focuses on their bot lane as their focus. Harmony, a very consistent player of theirs, so it'll be interesting to see if the Gents are able to keep pace with their bot lane and not fall behind to these Jarvan ganks. And I imagine we're going to see a lot of action out of Besterin. And if Besterin is looking to help get Harmony ahead, then he's going to be looking at this bot lane, and it's really going to be up to Hottie Williams to make sure he can get some of these counter ganks off.
Yeah, it's another interesting thing to note is that Yarvin is exceptionally strong against Olaf as well. Obviously, Olaf wants to simply pop his ultimate and run at you, but he cannot run through the walls of Cataclysm, unfortunately. Right. So you have to think that this was probably just the Yarvin pick comes out because it's so strong against the Olaf pick. Because Yarvin himself, otherwise, I mean, he's a decent jungler, but he's not,
right, he's not top tier by any means.
And we saw Besterin play a pretty good Gragas the other night. If they didn't have Olaf, if FG didn't have Olaf, is what I'm saying, I think it would have preferred to have seen the Gragas over the Yarvin. But I just think that Yarvin is absolutely perfect against that team. So I will actually change my prediction. I think that, especially after seeing this draft, I think that FG got heavily outdrafted, and I think that it will be a 2-0. I'm not sure that FG has any hope in this series, but we will see.
I can feel that. Yeah, definitely looking for a lot of individual play here. It's going to be a lot on Skylancer to try to do something to crack the shell of Maverick in this top lane. And like I said, a lot of our focus is going to be on the early levels of this bot lane. If Besterin ends up making the moves to try to choke out this bot lane and puts this Jinsona behind. It's going to be really rough for the Gents, but we're going to see if they're going to be able to pull it out here. I'm looking forward to it either way. But those of you out there, of course, just joining us, we are about to get into Game 1 between Furious Gents and Schism Esports. And I believe you're able to place your bets now. If you're in the Twitch chat watching out to set up your bets, but I believe it's Bet SKZ or Bet FG. So get your bets in. I think you have, 30, 40 minutes to get the bets in. I could probably look, but I don't know. However, we will definitely be getting into game here very soon. I'm not sure what else I'm looking for here. I'm really looking for the early game aggression here out of Patty Williams. And it's rough because you see Jarvan, when Jarvan was popular and when Jarvan was in meta, you saw a lot of, when he was picked for his level 2 strength, he specifically got nerfed a couple times because his level 2 is so strong. Because you got that free attack speed from the flag, you would just beat a camp up and you'd be a full health Jarvan just EQ ganking somebody and forcing flashes.
Yeah, I really think that early aggression from FG is the only way that they could even make a dent in the Schism roster right now. But man, I don't know. I'm just I'm not feeling it from their comp. I don't think it's super great. I really think that the gym pick is super questionable. But we will be getting into our ad break soon, so
we will catch you guys on the other side.
Tabor Seth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
And we are back. Welcome to Games XP. We are here in Game 1 between Schism Esports and the Furious Gents. Looking to get onto the Rift, see some items get bought, pings going down, people moving as a group. I think we're just going to see a regular 5-man split up here.
It looks like Schismax actually going for an invade bot lane, which is pretty smart because their comp is really good for it with the Braum. So we'll see what happens here.
Ooh, this could get early now. Brishy's going to spot this out, I think. Flashes away from the Scion Q. Gally's going to try to slide in. He's going to get out of there. Gets a nice little pair of auto attacks in. Fortunate that he dodged the Scion knockup, or that probably would have been the end of his life.
Yes, but this is actually very unfortunate for FG's bot lane. I mean, this is just basically painting a target on their back. 80 carry without flash versus Braum Yarvin is already not looking very good for them, and we're only a minute in the game.
Looking to see more of the split up from the jungle now. So they got what they wanted, of course. We talked about the early game regression they're going to put in the bot lane. Apparently early game counts as the first minute of the game. So they got what they wanted there. For sure.
Interesting, you can see that because they took Jid's flash, they're going to be wanting to start top lane so they can have a level 3 bot lane gang. Pretty smart. Definitely like the thinking from SKZ there. I pretty much just want to see Yarvin sit bot lane all game and never really go anywhere else. So that's definitely the way to win here.
Pretty much. I mean, they have the Galio and the Scion in the solo lanes. They're really not particularly worried about them doing anything more than just farming up and beating that BV front line. I don't think either of them are too worried about dying to their laner anytime soon.
It's like Bestrin's getting a ward up in Hadi's jungle. Looks like he might counter jungle. No, just taking the Scuttle Crab. Brewster's getting some good harass down in bot lane, yeah.
Ooh. Of course, Braum Q does about 1/5 of Sona's health, so it's rough for Fox to fight back here. Skyland's here using every single shot of his W to get through Scion's shield, and then eats a Scion Q and takes twice the amount of damage.
Yeah, really showing Scion's strength up there. Absolutely doesn't care about your harass, and then, you know, half health C with a single ability. Love it.
It's pretty nasty, as they say. For a little more here, we see Bestrin moving around the jungle. He's going for his wolves now. Looking to get to that level 3.
Oh yeah, it's interesting. He's going to be in for a pretty poor surprise once he gets to his blue buff because Hadi Williams took it. Looks like he should have gone through with that counter jungle over when he was trying to take the Scuttle Crab in topside.
Huh. Nice little move there. Ooh, we're seeing a ping go down in mid lane. Hadi's going to come in. We're going to see Songos throw the Q. They're going to get the slowdown. The taunt's going to come down on Echo. He gets the shield. They're looking for it. Finally, the slow comes down for the red buff. Songos looking for a little more. Steven is actually going to turn around. Finds the combo. Doesn't do much. They're going to get back out of there. 3-shot comes down on Sun and she gets out.
Yeah, well, it was unfortunate there that Hadi got hit by the taunt. He was not able to go and pick up his axe to continue the gank any further, so he had to just walk away. It might have been... It was probably going to be a flash if he did get the axe. Definitely not a kill, but definitely more pressure would have been exerted.
Would have been a nice advantage for Songos. Let's see. Put a little bit of aggression in lane. Echo has a lot of damage on his combo, even if Galio's shoving back out the waves. Robofuck's doing a nice damage, getting some damage out on the Sona. Of course, it's rough with the Relic Shield on Laxton's Braum, able to heal him up and do a little mitigation. Hadi Williams coming up in the top lane, putting some damage down on Maverick. Throwing an axe here and there, but of course, Maverick's gonna put down the decimating smash E on Skyland's here.
Important to note here is that Bestrin was forced to take a really poor back because his blue buff was gone, so now he's kind of looking for something in Hadi's jungle. Obviously, we can see he's just walking away from the Raptors right now, going down to the Krugs.
Yeah, he's maneuvering through the jungle here, and Robofox is up quite a bit. If he looks to come around, this may go poorly for Fierce Sense, but they're putting a lot of damage down the bot lane. Trying to stymie him away from... Ooh, Skylancer gets the flip! Maverick's low on mana here. Finds his E, finds the auto attack from the W. And he's not going to burn his flash. Good friends of mine. The F EQ comes out from Bestrin. Robofox is going to get ignited and is going to flash out of there. Finds the shield from the W and survives.
Yeah, it's important that he lives here because I think Sona dying here pretty much spells the end of the lane already. But they have to be so careful of repeat ganks now. It's going to be so easy.
especially if they want to get really crazy with Veteran, even has the access to a flash EQ if he's looking for it, but he's going to back off in the jungle now. Sconcer getting a little tricky with covering Mav's back. Stall him out for a little bit of time. Did a nice amount of damage. Ooh, we see the taunt come through. Songos goes for the flash, misses the Q into a minion wave. Doesn't have the mana to follow up for any, but ignites him and might get the kill here. Steve is going to go down. Songos going to take the first blood off the ignite.
Yeah, unfortunately, Steven there just let himself get baited by the Echo E there. It seemed like
RoboFox. I saw RoboFox was going there. RoboFox is looking to speed himself up to get into Laxton to go for the Q auto ignite, but Laxton moved back and Carmony moved up and almost found the kill on RoboFox. Did a nice enough amount of damage to say, oh, Bruce goes for the flash auto. Takes Carmony in the middle of my sentence. Bruce juice. That's what you want from an emergency sub.
Yeah, very impressive from FG's E-sub at the moment. He's up on Carmony in CS and just had that sick flash kill there. This game is definitely not turning out how I expected it to already, so we'll see how it goes from here. But pretty good performance from all sides of FG right now.
Yeah, see, you're looking a lot, and I'm reminded, of course, it's funny. I think about the Shades of White Lotus game that they had, the game one against White Lotus, and I'll talk about it a lot. And they were up 5-0 in kills and had I believe a 2K gold lead, and it was just about, oh, we see a 2v2 here. Song's driving gonna find the EQ, not gonna find a knockup. Song's gonna get taunted to try to get out of there. He has the ultimate available. Kaisa's coming in from the side, finds the plasma. Song's might look for the ultimate here, but he doesn't go for it.
Yeah, not really sure why SKZ's bot rotated up there. I mean, Kaisa only ever got a range to really send a W. I would have preferred them staying bot lane to push for that really important level 6 for them. I maybe just not the best play.
Yeah, I was saying not having that level 6, especially with the Sona level 6 spike, it's very difficult to fight that if you're not level 6 to answer with your own ultimate. So I think the experience event is going to go over here to Bruce and Rebel. Look at that damage coming out of the...
Yeah, Laxton losing half his health to just a simple Q auto combo from Sona and one auto from...
Ooh, Hottie Williams gonna get thrown by Veteran, but that Olaf passive is up. He's got the attack speed, but he's looking at the blue buff now. He's got to get himself out of there. I think this might be the end of Hottie Williams. He's running. He has nowhere to go. He's gonna go for the tower, actually. I think. Stevenator's there. He finds some damage off the Q. He runs through a tower shot, finds 2 tower shots, and Hottie gonna go down.
Unfortunate. I think Hottie let himself get baited into counter jungling again, but we didn't really see any of SKZ on the map, and of course bot lane was pushed up more for the side of Schism, so they had priority. Really just a bad play there, honestly. Like, especially trying to invade Yarvin and Galio. He could have just ulted if he really wanted to.
I'm not really looking for what he got there. He's going to go back. He's still looking for a nice advantage build up here. We see a CS lead, or a small CS lead and a kill up on Bruce Juice. We see Skylancers falling slightly behind on Maverick here, working on that Black Cleaver. As Maverick's sitting on a comfortable amount of gold. He's sitting on about 1,100 right now.
CS pretty even across the board now. A tiny lead built up for Maverick in the top lane. It's very easy to CS on Sion, obviously, with the Q shield. Still pretty unimpressed with this Urgot pick so far. I mean, obviously, Sion is basically the hardest counter in the book. Huh? We're gonna see a little trade here in the top lane.
It's more if he tries to escape the science. You throw all your skills at Sion, he eats him with a shield, and then you eat his Q, and you've lost the trade. That's sort of how it goes. You really need an extra pinch kick of mobility to really get out of the Sion Q to very definitively say you won the trade. But it's rough for Urgot, who's sort of stuck in that zone while he's setting up his W and moves a lot slower to be able to get out of the Sion Q.
Now, if we look at FG's blue buff, we'll see that they have a pink on it, but the SKZ also has a ward on it. I'm curious to see if Veteran is going to do anything with that. Probably not. It looks like he's just rotating bot lane right now. Probably looking for the Scuttle Crab, sees that it's gone. Looks like he might go around and commit to a bot lane gank, but he's just going to take this pink ward for now.
He's getting spotted up by the ward there.
We are going to see Maverick move in on the
blue
buff here.
You might get pinched here. We're going to see the Ghost come through on Skyland's here. He's blocking off Maverick from trying to help, but he's going to get out of there. Flips him over his head. They're 3-on-1 now. He's going to flash. He's going to go for the ultimate. He's going to get out. Hottie Williams tries to pop the ultimate to run at him to get in his way, but he's not able to make it there. They're going to keep going, though, but we see Gallia coming up from the side. Maverick might have to burn a summon here. He's going to get suppressed by the Urgot ultimate, and they're going to find the kill there. Maverick's going to pop his ultimate, punch a few CSs, and we're going to see the kill fly over to Skyland's here as he finds the advantage he's looking for. A little help from his friends.
Yeah, FG really wants to make Maverick know the fear beyond death. They committed quite a bit to that, especially after you know, normally it would have been pretty customary just to let Maverick go after the ult, but it was smart of them to chase them down. They definitely secured a good kill there.
Yeah, I was going to say, we saw Stevenator on his way up there, and I thought he was going to intercept with the Gallia ultimate, but I don't know if he wasn't in range or if he was not looking for it.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused on the no Gallia ult too. Definitely would have saved Maverick there, and they might have even been able to turn around into a kill because Sky was basically out of mana at that point.
And we're seeing a little bit more of this advantage. We see Brucey's still doing a good job of now up to 2 kills, sitting on the advantage. I believe he's going to back for a Storm Razor here. He's got 1800 gold after the BF Dagger, and if I know my math figures, he's going to buy a Zeal and 2 Longswords instead. I know nothing.
We are going to see the Dragon taken here on the side of Schism. No contest from FG. Definitely a good play, especially because the early game has been very questionable so far. Oh, wait. Dragon reset a little bit, unfortunately.
Unless we see a sick Rebel Fox steal, I don't think they're too worried about it. Hottie Williams trying to punch down on Maverick, but Zion does a lot of damage. He's actually an ultimate to get out of there. Sona has the boost speed. Flash ultimate from Laxton and the EQ follow-up from Besterin. Carmody ults in and he's going to find himself a kill down on Rebel Fox. Maverick's looking at Hottie Williams now, but Skylancer's got the backup, but that's a lot of damage coming down on Hottie Williams. He's going to flash out of there. Songless on the side, picks up his shield, finds the Protobelt and the E and the Ignite, and the ultimate comes through. Skylancer taking another kill down on Maverick as he tries to run over to Hottie Williams. Doesn't quite find the kill. Oh, yeah. He does.
Hottie, what are you doing? Very, very questionable play from Hottie there.
Ooh, the ultimate going to come through, and the EQ going to miss from Besterin afterwards. Bruce just flashes out of there. Very nice play. Waits out that Jarvan ultimate and immediately flashes out of it.
We'll see if he gets too greedy here, though. Sona is back. There's potential for to turn this around. Sona still's power cord.
Yeah, I'll say Carmony's out of mana and Lexington doesn't have an ultimate here. They could look for something. Rebel Fox is going to have his ultimate very soon. No, he's not. He just used it. I'm dumb. They're talking about it. They're coming in. Rebel Fox actually going to get the Ignite and the Q down on Besterin. Laxton's got to watch out here. Skylancer's teleported in. Here comes the Jin ultimate. 2 shots, 3 shots. Laxton's going to go down. 4 shots going to miss Maverick, but they're going to find another kill there. Maverick's going to get rooted up. He might actually die again. Rebel Fox is out of mana, but he's got enough to speed up Skylancer. He's chasing him down. Finds the Q and he's going to get out of there.
That was actually a very good flip from Urgot. We saw Maverick attempt to body block for Laxton, but was flipped out of the way, which allowed Laxton to get hit by the 3rd and 4th shots.
Ooh, Hottie Williams going to ultimate through here, but he's going to walk back out as the tower shot's coming through and the Galio comes in. Stevenator coming to save Maverick's hide.
Yeah, very questionable plays from Hottie all around right now. I'm not really sure what he's doing. We saw him... Huh?
Well, Skylancer. You're a slow-crawling crab. He's going to walk himself out of there.
I really want to see FG back now. They have an almost 2k gold lead. Time to go spend it.
Yeah, they're swinging a lot in their pockets, especially on both Hottie Williams and Skylancer. I don't think he's back since he's found his 3 kills, but they keep going here. Stevenator is sliding in. Laxton's here. He has the ultimate available. They're looking for more. Hottie Williams going to get stunned up and ignite up. Skylancer flashes onto Carmony, but the taunt's going to come down from Stevenator. Rebel Fox has no mana for this. Skylancer's in the middle, and they're going to go down. They spent way too long in here with no mana available, and they're going to fall down to 3 for nothing on the side of Schism.
This is really just a bad play. They lose shutdown gold, 2 other kills, and first tower. You have to wonder what was going through their heads. They were all so low, and we knew that Gallia was still lurking around the bot lane.
Yeah, with so many of their ultimates not available and their mana not really ready to they didn't really ready to bring all their tools to that fight, and they really had to reset there. I think they committed a bit too much to not wanting to give up that tower, and then they ended up giving up the tower and quite a bit more. We are going to see off the turnover, we are going to see the Black Cleaver into the Catalyst pick up on Skyland Seer. Going to see the finish of the health enchant that I can't remember. Cinder Hulk come through on a Hottie Williams. A couple items, Stormer is going to get finished on Bruce Juice. So Furious Gentz definitely found a little power up after that fight. But now the gold lead has been not only swapped back, but extended into Schism's favor.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just really questionable on the side of FG. It sucks because they had, like, they played so good in the early game, and now it looks like it's just being turned around on them.
Harmony, Scouncer's going to give himself out of there. Side Ultimate is going to come through in the bot lane, however. Maverick trying to stop this destruction of the tower as he goes in on Rebel Fox. That's a flash ultimate from the Jarvan. And we're going to see Hottie Williams get locked up here, and we're going to get a knock-up down, and Skyland Seer cannot do anything. That is the 4-man, and that is 2 kills in the pocket of Carmony. And Schism is on the warpath now.
Yeah, this is pretty much what we were talking about earlier in the game and in the draft. I think this is the end of the line for FG, basically. Definitely the turning point, unfortunately, so.
Yeah, so we talked about it a little. I talked about it earlier in their set with White Lotus. I mean, you saw the early game aggression. You saw sort of the outplays even that were coming from the side of Furious Gentz that neither of us expected, coming from Bruce Juice and Robofox in the spot lane. Definitely put on a good 2v2 show, but they end up losing out. It's the draft. It's the draft working against them. These compositions that Schism has put together, we just saw it there. You saw the Jarvan, you saw the Galio, you just saw Skyland Seer get knocked up 1, 2, 3 times, and there was no response from him.
It's kind of heartbreaking in a way, because I really do think that FG played their early game superbly. I mean, they basically had SKZ beat on all counts. But I just some questionable play from Hottie and a really poor overstay, and bot lane really turned it around on them. As you mentioned earlier, you know, they had the gold lead. Now it's flipped, and SKZ is ahead by 2K. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, so they definitely committed a bit too much to wanting to hold down those towers, or to hold down that first tower advantage, but now that's been dropped. Now that Carmony's put some kills in his pocket, the Knight's Vows come out from Laxton to attach to him, and Carmony himself is very close to finishing the Rage Blade. It's going to look rough going into this mid-game transition here for the Gents, and I'm not sure what they'll be looking for, because really the engage they have is on Rebel Fox's ultimate, which can get blocked out by the Braum wall, and it's going to be rough for them to not be fighting entirely on Schism terms.
Yeah, I think the play here for FG is just concede the dragon. There's no way that you can beat SKZ in a fight anymore. It sucks. They don't even have mid tier 1 to go siege here. It's really just they got to give it up, and they absolutely cannot take anything in return here.
Yeah, they really have no avenue. They have all their avenues covered on the side of Schism. We're gonna see the Sign ultimate come through. Here comes the fight. They find it onto Jin in the back, and they're looking for more of this fight. Braum ultimate come through as we see Steven Ayer and Maverick trying to dive on Hottie Williams and Rebel Fox. Rebel Fox gonna get flash haunted on, and they cannot deal with that damage. Maverick's gonna find the flash afterwards. And on the same side, we're gonna see Skyland Seer try to deal with Skarmony. Cannot deal with that DPS. We're gonna see the triple go come through for Steven Ayer as he flashes in for all that Galio AoE. And at the same time, that is a 5-0 for Schism.
Yeah, clean ace. Maverick had a really, really good ult initiate there. Did like more than half of Sona's health and hit Jin with it. Pretty great. And then we just saw Steve come in for the cleanup. This is probably gonna be 3 towers, maybe even an inhibitor.
Yeah, I'm thinking this might be an inhibitor. Yeah, that was rough. They definitely saw as soon as Maverick found his opening into the, just the split off from the Furious Gentz really wasn't what they're looking for. Skyland Seer thought he saw an opportunity to really get on top of Carmony and get himself, but really had to be there for his bot lane. That was the problem. And we talked about it. We talked about the weakness of this Jin Sona against these extremely mobile, the Sion ultimate coming at you, the Jarvan ultimate to lock you up. The Galio even has a dash into a taunt. It's so hard to get away from all these threats. You really have to rely on your front line to do things for you. And if Carmony and Songless are gonna, focus on their own engages off on the side and then not even be able to find the kills on Carmony, then they really have to do what they can to sort of be there for the rest of the team and really peel off this immediate threat of Maverick, who is just an unstoppable force on the Scion.
If we look at builds real quick, we can see that Hottie is building a Black Cleaver. He has the Phage and Kindle Gem, I believe it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why he felt the need to go. Excuse me. The need to go for that.
Steven is going to find Songless. Going to lock him up there. He's going to get knocked up before the shield even comes down. He's going to find the ultimate to get himself out, but he's on the bad end now. Carmony ultimate's in. Songless going to proto build out. Hottie Williams going to ultimate it, but he's in the middle of 4. The Vulnerable's not going to do anything. That's going to keep the rest of the team out. Carmony finds the kill into Olaf. Bruce is trying to do what he can. He's going to slow it up by the Braum. He's got 3 stacks on. Sono is going to find a nice ultimate clean through the side, but all it's going to do is delay them here. Songless trying to find a shield for the stun. Finds the Scion Q. Steven here is sliding in there. The team from Schism is just pouring in here one at a time. And they are not able to find any return kills here.
Yeah, unfortunately, as we saw, not even the power of the NA flash from Carmony could save that team fight. They're going to start Baron. Pretty much the expected call here. There's no way that FG can really contest it. And I think I would not be surprised if we saw the game be over in 3 minutes from this point.
I'm going to say this is going to be rough. Now that they have the threat of the open inhibitor, and they were already winning fights way before the Baron. Now they're sitting on a close to 8k gold lead here at the 21.5 minute mark. It's really just a matter of what do we feel like doing before we go dogpile on them again to end. And I think that we're going to, if we want to look at it straight, we want to say what adjustments as do Furious Gents want to try to make going into game 2. Because we see the compositions that, and I mean we talked about it, we see the Steven here gonna get beat on a little bit by the 3. He's gonna turn around. Rofox trying to do what he can to get some damage on him, but that is a very tanky Galio. And even the Baron.
Oh my god. Rebel Fox, what are you doing?
I didn't expect that to happen. And then I realized how much AP that Galio has, and that was ugly.
I think...
here comes the Scion ultimate. High Williams is gonna go for the ultimate here. And we're gonna look for more. We're gonna see the pull back. Maverick's gonna actually go down in the middle of the fight. Lax is gonna get the ignite on High Williams and flash himself out of there. Galio's gonna find him on the back. Maverick's looking for Skylancer here, punches him out, finds the kill. Steven here is gonna find a kill. Song's gonna get locked in the driving ult, and he ultimates and gets caught. That looked really weird. I think he got clipped in the corner of it. But regardless,
pretty much the expected outcome there. We did see Maverick use Glacial Augment to channel the power of Mike Tyson's punch out there for a little while.
Right.
Managing to pick up the kill on Sky. They're just
Harmony.
padding KDAs at this point.
Carmony did not find the kill on Rebel Fox, reported.
But, I mean, as for next game's draft, I want to see Hottie off of Olaf. This game was very, very bad. Even past the point of being questionable, I think. I would just call it a poor performance.
Right. I agree. I think that the Olaf is a very, I don't know. It's a pick that we see from a lot of junglers here in this league, but I think that it's a lot more easily played around than other, higher priority junglers like Gragas. We talked about it and a couple others, but yeah, I don't know. You see now that Schism is willing to make these drafts. They're really willing to play the sort of the things we've seen a lot from Full Sends type of book, where we've just seen them draft the R button you to death comps, and it's happened a lot more out of this team. We see the Jarvan, Galio, Braum, Scion. They enter with their ultimates and you disappear. And you just can't end the fight. So I think you need to, when you see comps like that are coming out, you have to make picks and reactionary champions that are able to, answer these incoming threats. You can't be the, Jin Sona immobile bot, and just there's a lot of adjustments that need to come out if you're going to plan on those of surviving the initial wave of ultimates coming in. And it's going to see if we can get that to be apparent to come out of Furious Gents draft here. But we'll be getting into game 2 very shortly. I believe we'll have another pro draft going into that, but I believe we'll be taking a short break here. Welcome back, everyone. We are back. Games XP Championship. We've got Furious Gents. We've got Schism Esports. We are in the Pro Draft for Game 2. We see the Rakan coming out away from the Gents, and we see the Galio getting banned, the Respect ban going over Stevenator here from the Gents. The Braum ban is going to come out from SKZ this time. And of course, we see a lot of adjusting bans here on both sides, so we're looking to change the direction of the draft from both sides. I'm looking for it.
Yeah, I really like the Galio ban. Steve was really, really good on it. Highest damage number and scoreline on Schism last game. So good to see that FG is willing to change their bans up a little bit, trying to adapt, but you got to wonder if it's going to be worth anything.
Yeah, I really want to see the Scion ban too. I really think Maverick deserved the Scion ban for both being a very difficult wall for Skylancer to penetrate through in the top lane, as well as sort of the initial engages that he found after. I mean, Stevenator did lifted a lot of the weight in the team fights, but most of them were engaged on by Maverick Scion.
Agreed, yeah. The Scion basically totally nullified the Urgot pick. I mean, they got a few kills on him in lane, but that was because they were 1v3ing him. I mean,
there we go.
Pretty hard to live through that, regardless of who you are, so... definitely shouts out to Mav. As a fellow Scion player, I know your pain.
It's all good. Keep on dying. You're still Scion. You hit your R button, and you're still going to run through a billion people and hurt the 2 HP Sonus. So.
Yeah, I really wish that we had a clip of that that ult that he found on Sona and Jin. That was a
life bar just disappeared.
Really great ult. Maybe definitely in contest for the best Scion ult we've seen at the split. Easily, I think.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure I remember a certain Scion ult down mid lane that was easily the best Scion ultimate though.
Yeah, we don't.
We see the Morgana get taken for Laxon. I believe maybe the first time this league, Laxon finally gets to see Morgana off the ban list and in his hands. I believe he's very excited for this. What? All right. I don't know if that's technical difficulties or if I just saw Quinn and Varus get picked together. I may need some gather some thoughts here.
Yeah, I'm confused as well.
There was no hesitation. They just it was pick done. That is maybe Quinn.
We're receiving confirmation in chat that the Quinn was actually supposed to be a Lulu pick. I do not know how we are going to proceed from here. Gonna wait for management on that one.
How did you? Man, we really got to work on that Pro Draft tutorial. There wasn't even like time. They just instantly picked the Quinn, and they just it's Q, and Lulu is L. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not sure that FG knew that you do not have the extra 3 seconds at 0 to pick another champion. I think that they may have just gotten auto-locked, unfortunately.
Alright, so we are going to see the Lulu Varus Pantheon on the side of Furious Gents, not Quinn. So we are going to see most likely RoboFox on the Lulu supports, and we're going to see Varus come through for Bruce Juice. And Hottie Williams, I like seeing his Pantheon. Of course, we talk a lot about Left Hook Larry as sort of the Pantheon jungle of this league, but Hottie Williams played it very often with LA game while he was on it.
The Pantheon pick is good. Both games, I really wanted to see Hottie on Gragas, but he just doesn't want to play it, I guess. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's definitely... I don't know. This is a comfort pick for him, and I mean, I saw a lot of it in the games that he did play, where he went for the Pantheon and looked for the very early game aggression. And I mean, it's a lot more pronounced on Pantheon because you don't have to aim anything. You don't have to really throw an axe at somebody and hope. You just appear next to them, and then you're throwing all of your Pantheon weight on them, and it becomes a lot easier, especially with follow-ups like the Varus slow and the Lulu slow and Lulu polymorph. There's a lot to gank for in the bot lane if he's looking for something like that.
Yeah, a much better draft from FG's bot lane this time. Obviously, we saw Bruce was pretty good on the on the Jhin, but it just was not the champion to play into that comp. Varus would have been okay last game too, but I think that hopefully we'll get to see an opportunity to see Bruce shine on this Varus if he can pull out a similar early game performance.
Yeah, we are going to see the Mundo come through for Furious Gentz top laner, so I don't think Skylanders played the Mundo yet. We've, of course, been getting very used to seeing him on those damaging top laners, but Mundo does a respectable amount of damage for a tank. That's definitely, you get into a long fight with him and it suddenly becomes really hard for you. But we are going to see, most likely, Maverick going to go through on that Maokai pickup.
Mundo, an interesting pick. Really hated into the Morgana, though. I would not have picked Mundo here. It's just too easy to get kind of shut down because your whole engage as Mundo is, of course, to run at them, and you can't really run at them when you're snared for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, so even without the Morgana, I mean, they have the Zillion slow, the like 85%.
Yeah, the slow and the stun too. Questionable pick on the top lane again, unfortunately. And we did see Maverick have a really, really good performance on Maokai. Again, the last game he played in, which I still cannot remember who that was that they played against that time.
Ooh, they're going to go with Tristana for Carmine. This is definitely a pick I like seeing him on.
Yeah, SKZ really, they drafted a good team. I think the only super questionable pick is I really don't like the Skarner. I think he's very weak right now. I mean, at this point, he's basically just... I would have liked to have seen the Yarvin from last game, actually.
Yeah, so I think the odd thing about Skarner in this composition is that they're not really... I don't know. You're looking to make a pick with Skarner, and you've drafted so much support and utility for Carmony that it's... You either are picking Skarner to pull... Like, I could see it to pull away the Pantheon or pull away the Mundo off of Tristana, but I don't really see them using it for an engage because you're committing your solo damage dealer to kill off the person that Skarner's picked up. And I think that's kind of a waste. I think you see Skarner more typically in, since he's sort of tanky himself, you see him in sort of that double carry position where you just see a mid laner that can very quickly blow up someone that Skarner's grabbed. But it's a little bit harder in a draft you've committed to your AD carry, just sole source of damage. And you sort of use Skarner in this right more as a peel than an engage.
There is going to be some interesting synergy between, obviously, Zillion and Skarner work very well together with the massive speed up into the Skarner ult. So I guess that may have been what they were thinking. I still think I probably would have liked to have seen another jungler. I'm just not so hot on Skarner right now, but we'll see how it works out on them. Bestern had a pretty decent performance last game, so I think he'll be able to do something with this. I think that the early game is going to heavily revolve around whether or not Hadi decides to counter jungle again, which I think was obviously effective the first time quite a bit. It made Bestern take a really poor back at around, I think it was like 3.5, 4 minutes. But it really screwed him the second time he tried to go in there, finding himself on the butt end of a 4-man. So
I think the other thing that it's less pronounced about Skarner is that I believe he may have picked it into the proposition of getting counter jungled by Hadi Williams, because the nice thing about Skarner is that you have a lot of power in your own jungle as long as you're controlling the spires. And I believe he may be looking to put himself in a position where he's going to find Hadi Williams in his jungle under those spires and is really able to fight him out. Because Pantheon, of course, is very bully heavy, but after he's blown his initial stun and combo, if you're able to really stand up to him and fight him, you can usually take him down pretty easily. Especially Skarner on the spires with the bonus attack speed and the extra this and that. Really, I think you'll be able to give it to Hadi Williams, be able to find him, catch him counter jungling poaching in his jungle. So I believe that the Skarner pick may have been an added boon for him in that right.
that is true, yeah. I do kind of like the Malzahar pick from here for Sunless. I didn't really talk about it that much during the pro draft. It's one of his more played mid laners that isn't like Morgana in solo queue. So he should be, hopefully pretty decent on it. It is going to suck a little bit because, if he does not predict the Black Shield right, his ult's going to be totally wasted, and they do still have the Zillion for the anti-pick power. But it has the potential to be a strong pick for them in this game.
Yes, I, on the other hand, do not like the Malzahar pick at all. I think it's going to be very rough for Malzahar to really confidently find somebody on this SKZ front line. I mean, you have the Maokai being the hefty front line. You have Skarner, who's going to be causing chaos, getting on top of people. You have the Morgana Black Shield, and then Zillion is going to be way back, controlling the speed and controlling the double bombs. And I think it's going to be rough at all for Songless to really find a solid ult target on anybody that isn't, just like Maokai, and just like hold him there for a little bit with this team. I think it's going to be a lot harder for I think Songless wanted Malzahar has a little bit of AoE in the AoE silence of his Q, but I think they wanted a different sort of mid laner control mage. Something like, I don't know, like maybe a Nivea or something who's just able to control, not exactly Nivea, but someone who's able to really control a wide AoE instead of the single target Malzahar. Because I don't really think they have the agency to make a pick problem. Between the Zillion ultimate and the Morgana Black Shield, it's a lot harder for them to make individual picks here off the Pantheon Malzahar unless they're really looking to have Songs move around and roam in lane and get something pop off early and mid game.
I see where you're coming from. I think that it will actually be quite good against Maokai, especially because they have the tank melting power of Varus. I think that if Maverick ever really oversteps his boundaries, I think he's going to find himself on the ground in short order, unfortunately for him.
True.
This, of course, also really just depends on how the game goes. And Maverick especially typically picks very good engages for his team. So it's going to come down to play. I still will give this game 100% to SKZ. I still think they have the better draft. I really wanted to see Gragas from Hadi last game and this game. I feel like it's just better than the Pantheon, and Gragas is quite good against Skarner too. But he decided to go with the Pantheon, so we'll see if he can do anything with it. He needs to play way better than last game, though. Olaf at least has some fringe benefit, even if you're behind. He can still present himself as a mediocre threat to the enemy backline. Pantheon is absolutely worthless when behind.
Right.
So, as poorly as last game, this is going to be over in, I'm going to call 21 minutes.
That's fair. And definitely we'll be looking for a lot again in the spot lane. Especially we saw some nice plays come out from Brewster's side, and RoboFox playing a lot of damage out on the Sun and Pick from last game. We'll see if they're able to keep the Schism bot lane on their back feet. Because if we see some holes get punched into Carmony early and get him a little bit behind for this composition that's really put him up on a pedestal to carry the team, then we might find a nice little boon for Furious Gentz. But on another note, for those of you out there in the Twitch chat, I am here to let you know that GXPC has partnered with the Humble Bundle, and we've got a summer sale encore that just launched in the Humble Store this Thursday. That would actually have been yesterday. The sale will be live through Monday, September 17th to 10 a.m. Pacific. As a reminder, if you use the GXPC code, which will be provided in the link, you can get 5% off of your Humble Bundle. It's going to be a pretty nifty thing for you if you're into, stacks of games, stacks of Humble Bundles. So we're going to drop that link in the chat, and go ahead and use that if you're looking for a Humble Bundle. And on that note, we will catch you on the other side of the rift.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate GXPC in Decorah, Iowa. GXPC is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The GXPC motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
We are back. Welcome to Game 2, Games XP. Best 3 between Schism Esports and Furious Gentz. Schism is up 1-0, looking for match point. And we are looking for a little bit more coming into this jungle. Now, interestingly enough, we see the stack of 5 coming out from Furious Gentz here. They're not looking to get cheesed. And Bruce not looking to lose his flash here.
Yeah, it's just going to be countered by a pretty standard 5-point, though. Definitely want to see Mundo start walking top now.
And they're going to walk it out of there. It's good. I don't want to see any flashes get burned before people get in the lane. I want to see all summoner spells. Keep it all on the table.
Looks like Mav and Steve are going to go for this top lane River Spire. Pretty boring early game, unfortunately. Just kind of got to sit here and wait.
It happens.
Maverick moving in to take the top lane Jungle Spire from Skarner.
Look at all this team money. They're not going to do it. They don't have the luxury of time before the jungle spawns.
Alright, so I'm interested in hearing your opinion on this. Obviously, we see Hottie Williams on a very, very early game jungler. Potential for first blood is pretty good. Where do you think we're going to see the first blood in this game?
Ooh. I want to see it mid, honestly.
I agree.
You always see him walking up right to the Zillion to get some really damage on him. Doing a nice job of getting him to half health. Yeah, I definitely want to see. What was that hitbox?
We're going to see him rotate down to the bottom.
Oh, here we go. Hottie Williams. Looking for it. The flash from Carmody flashes right into Hottie Williams' loving arms. Gets stabbed, and we see the first blood to Hottie Williams. That was a questionable flash. Carmody.
I think that Carmody did not actually have vision of Hottie there. He was still kind of obscured behind that wall down the bot lane. The turret might have seen him, but I'm not sure that Carmody was really paying attention. So yeah, we are going to see a pretty great early game gang from Hottie turn into 400 gold for himself, actually. Would have liked to have seen that go over to Bruce, but you know, we'll see what Hottie can do with 400 free gold.
I'm down to see it go to Hottie Williams, because now we're seeing how willing Hottie Williams is to immediately just hit that level 2, go straight down, look for those ganks, and maybe try to do the good old solo queue, run it up the lanes, give everybody a free gank, and burn some flashes, get some Pantheon aggression down in there. You already see him in the Raptor camp now. He may look towards mid lane next, but we see Besterin is hanging around there.
Lots of counter jungling in this series.
Everyone's playing dirty here.
He, for some reason, decides to not finish the Raptor camp. He pretty much needs all the experience he can get, considering he's still in level 2. I would have personally finished the Raptor camp there. We saw that Bestrin kind of had the luxury of letting the Raptor camp go because he had already had level 3 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's whatever, I guess. But he's putting himself behind in a situation where he really wants to be very far ahead.
Yeah, definitely you're seeing that. Actually trying to fish out these bindings. Royal Fox trying to get some damage done on Carmony. Just the back and forth fights. Scout's there in a decent spot. Maverick there actually has a decent amount of damage. Finds the cleaver. It might actually look for the kill here. That disappears from the E-auto attack. Skylands here finds the solo kill on Maverick.
And Grass Proc putting in mad work there. I don't wonder what Maverick was doing. Just really let Sky sit there and auto him, basically.
Wow. Ooh, the binding comes down on the Rebel Fox. Carmony finds the ignite, but they're going to go to Hottie Williams there. They're going to back up. Laxton's going to get slowed. Rebel Fox finds the flash. Hottie Williams finds the flash, buffers the rocket jump to get himself out of there.
Good buffer on Carmony's part. Cheeky little binding comes out there at the end. We did see Morgana's ignite get blown. Interesting to note that Carmony still has heal up. It wasn't actually burned in the first gank. Songless down here not really doing anything.
Yeah, as long as just kind of hovering got found out by a ward, so he's going to retreat back there.
Rebel Fox did lose his flash there, trying to flash into Glitterlance Laxon, but it didn't really amount to anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, they were trying to chain it up to the Glitterlance into the Hottie Williams Aegis Bash, but didn't quite find it. Rishi's doing a good job getting Laxon low here. They're really looking to punish him for trying to walk up for these bindings that he's looking for. And it's rough. You don't expect it a lot earlier between the Blight passive on Varus' Zeros. If he stacks 1 and 2 auto attacks on you and pops a skill off when you're trying to trade with him, and you suddenly just lose a giant chunk of HP, it's a really nice boon in Varus' kit.
I think we're going to see a double kill here in bot lane right now.
Ooh, the binding coming in from Laxton, and we're seeing the E get put on the Rebel Fox. Jared Terra turn around and give the kill on Laxton. Laxton's going to go down, actually. Bruce finds a kill, but Carmony finds a double. Maverick's going to try to slide in onto Skyland Seer and actually finds the kill. A little bit of minion damage to help him out.
Sky missing the point blank cleaver. Very disappointing. But yeah, good gank from Bestrin. Having that double on Carmony and not looking so hot for FG right now. They're still playing a pretty decent early game, but they were just too far up with no HP left.
Yeah, just a little bit of overcommit on the side of Furious Gentz. Now it's swung back in Carmony's favor. He's going to end up having a lot of money there. He's able to sit on the BF Sword and Misty, whichever other item of his choosing that he wants.
Interesting to see. We're going to see the Bomby Cinder from Sky as the first buy. Typically, I'm a pretty big fan of building for the team. For instance, because most of the damage this game is going to be coming from Carmony, I would typically be pretty okay with Sky building armor first. But in a matchup as aggressive as this, obviously you can see both of them are very insistent on trading blows instead of really just farming it out. I think that any amount of magic resist would have been better than the Bomby Cinder right now.
Yeah, I think he's definitely looking a little bit in these trades to get some damage burned down on these minions, because he lost a lot of the early trading, at least to the minion damage that he was taking while he was trying to run through him to get onto Maverick, and I feel like that was a lot of the edge that Maverick got in that trade. Steven here trying to put a little bit of aggression down the Songless. Hottie Williams actually finding Bester in the jungle here, and here we see Skarner able to give Phantheon a pretty good fight, but Hottie Williams has the damage to, but at the same time we're going to see some more in the top lane. Skyland Seer going to pop the ultimate. Maverick's going to pop his ultimate. We see this 2v2 going through. Steven here is trying to run. Hottie Williams going pretty low. He's got to watch out here. Has a Zillion Bomb on him. Actually going to get the ultimate, but there's the Zillion ultimate. He's going to get rezzed up. And actually, Bestman's going to keep trying to look through, but the bot lane from both sides is coming up here. Bruce doesn't have the ultimate available. Tristan's going to jump over on the side there. Tries to find some damage onto Bruce, but he's going to back off. At the same side, we see Bruce level 5. The Tristana jumps in again. Carmony finds one auto attack, finds two. The Ignite comes down, and as long as he gets bound up, Carmony finds the rocket jump in and looks for another, finds the ultimate, gets the kill on the Bruce, and actually flashes out. Carmony is a monster.
Carmi really popping off. Unfortunately, Bruce's team just left him to die there, walking out through the river instead of following him up through the jungle.
Ooh, Besserin finds the flash ultimate, and Carmony Goomba stomps on top of Rebel Fox, finds himself another kill. Goes up to 5-1.
Now, I don't like calling games this early, but with playing the early game as well as this and just being the generally harder scaling comp, you have to wonder if FG even has any hope at this point.
Yeah, that was rough.
Carmony is 5-1 right now.
Carmony
and it is 8 minutes and 50 seconds
that
into
man
the
is
game.
about to have an 8.5-minute Stormraiser, and I am worried for everybody else in the game. And there it is.
There it is, yep.
It's rough. There's... See, there are tools. I would definitely say there are tools on the side if they catch Carmony, you know, overstepping his boundaries a little bit on this Tristana. I mean, you saw him go a little bit hyphy in those fights, and I mean, they were all very calculated aggression. I would not say he was a reckless player by any means. But if he's getting sort of the better of himself and maybe looking into these fights to really say, hey, I'm 5-1, 8.5-minute Stormraiser Tristana, I can enter these fights and just start by killing someone. Then there's a lot of counter engage on the side of Furious Gentz to really sort of stymie him down if he's not sitting on, you know, a black shield and a Zillion ultimate. And really, I'm just talking myself out of a circle here. I'm trying to make a case for Furious Gentz, but we see the stun come through. Besterin's not even going to need the ultimate as he goes to the Mauser ultimate. It's not enough. They're looking for Pantheon now. They're not going to find it. And Songless goes down. They're just running through the jungle now, and it is not looking good.
No, I would say that it's just a matter of time already. Again, I do not like calling games at the 10-minute mark, but I mean, like you can even see here.
There's the Laxton ultimate. Carmy's gonna jump in, finds one, finds auto, finds a jump, looking for more Rebel Fox and disappear. Another double kill. Gonna come in.
Yeah, Laxton just decides that, you know, this is their lane now. FG's bot lane has absolutely no say in the matter.
Yeah, this is Carmony's game to pick up and run with, and it's rough at this point. Gonster did a nice job of trying to find some early damage on a Maverick, but Maverick's putting up a good fight, pushing him out in this lane, not really giving him any leeway, and it's rough. We see the Maverick finds, he's going to pop the stopwatch here to dodge out the Maokai ultimate, but he's got to flash away from now from Skarner. Songless finds him in the jungle. Hottie going to jump in, drops in on Lax, and doesn't find the kill. He flashes away from the E. He's going to drop the stun onto Carmony now, but the Zillion double bombs are actually going to kill him. He turns around, disappears to the Tristana E, and he's going to get the Zillion ultimate to get himself back up. Has the rocket jump available, doesn't have the mana for it. Might actually go down. Bruce Juice might look for it here. Finds two autos into the Q and the Malzar E. He's going to get shut down. Maybe a little too late, but it's money in some pockets. We're seeing a little more top lane skirmishing going on here. Skyrim's trying to find
I'm not
Maverick.
sure that Maverick really understands how to fight Mundo in this matchup, unfortunately.
I can't say I do either.
I mean, we just see them, you know, duking it out here, and Mundo's going to win that every time, unfortunately, just due to the fact that he does very, very heavy split damage. Cleaver does magic damage, Masochism does physical damage, of course.
I see two guys sitting each other, and I see one keeps getting back health. Well, I know. See, Mundo kind of has the healing over time versus the burst healing from Maokai while they're in the middle of the fight, but I think the healing overall favors Mundo in that trade-off. But regardless, we're going to see some more items come in. The Luden's Echo, I believe, now finishing on Songless. Carmony's going to finish tier 2 boots, going to work into the Zeal, and it's really a lot more of the same here. That is 8 out of these 10 kills are on Carmony. He picks up a red buff here.
Yeah, there was signs of life from that bot lane fight from FG, but still a questionable avenue of play by Hottie Williams has him go in on Morgana and then get flashed away and punished when he flashes on Carmony for seemingly no reason. I mean, there were words in the jungle. They should have known that Zillion was there, so...
Sconcer's gonna pop that ultimate. They're gonna get stymied away from the tower here, but there's 4
But
up
unfortunately,
here.
yeah, there are 4 people of Schism here.
They trade off that tower aggro. They still gonna watch it, but Carmony is here, and that is way too much damage for him to deal with. Carmony is finding himself his 9th kill of the game. And they're gonna look for the tower now.
Yeah, pretty good rotation from the side of SKZ's bot lane. As we see, FG's bot lane is still trying to take this tier 1 tower, and Rift Herald does go down for Besterin. I mean, it's very possible that they just use this Rift Herald to absolutely crack the game open once again, and I really don't think that FG is in any position to stop that.
Yeah, IUM is doing what he can to go on the top lane, but the Rift Herald threat is up there, and there are 3 members of SKZ. It's surmounting against their favor, and this Rift Herald may end up making. They got 4 up there in the top lane now. I don't think they're going to let the inhib tower go down. It's going to get cracked by good old Shelly, but it's going to go down now. They do manage to get the bot lane tower and take their first tower of the game for the side of the Gentz. But 6k gold lead sitting on the side of Schism at the 14-minute mark.
Yeah, a 6k gold lead at this early in the game is almost certain doom. We are going to see some cheeky vision here.
Carmony's going to go for the jump. Lulu finds the ultimate. It does nothing. Carmony makes her disappear.
Yeah, red buff spelling doom for
the flash.
Rebel Fox.
Rude. Carmony jumps on top of Songos' head, and Laxon says, I want to kill this game. Finds himself the tremendous soul kill. Finds the binding on. Carmony might go for the jump here. Doesn't have the mana.
Just really, really unfortunate. FG showed amazing signs of life in the early first game out. Dive here. Oh boy.
Looking for a little more. Carmony just keeps going through. Maverick keeping himself healthy. Has a zillion ultimate to keep himself extra alive. Gonna go down. Carmony flashes, finds another auto. A double kill coming through. Doesn't have the mana to jump in, I don't think, but he's gonna keep looking for it. Laxton's gonna find himself another kill after Carmony's auto attack.
I'm pretty sure what you say at this point of the game is GG next, but unfortunately there will not be a next for FG.
Yeah, Here comes the Hottie Williams ultimate on a bunch of low health people. There's no ultimate from Stevenator, but are they even able to find a kill here? Songos finds a kill on the Zillion. Songos gonna flash away from the Manaless Maverick, but Carmony's coming. Carmony only needs 1 right click. Can he do it? The jump, he just got the mana for the jump and finds the kill in a Songless.
Carmony is 14-2 right now. This game is over.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my professionalism in, and I'm going to very much agree that this game is extremely over. We are at a 10.5k gold lead at 16 minutes. Tristana is about to put several more items in her pocket that are going to put the kill in other people's mouth. And we're going to watch it.
Yes, it's like a train wreck at this point, right? You can't look away.
I want to look away. I can't not look, but it's still happening.
It is really a shame. I think that FG played the early game of the first game, as I've said it quite a few times already, but very admirably. They really had Schism going on pretty much all counts, but they just, I don't know, either Schism pulled it together this game, or it was just a fluke on the side of FG.
Rebel Fox finds the ultimate, has the ultimate on. I don't think he's going to go down.
Rebel Fox keeps trying to pull these weird, kind of hiding around the corners of SKZ's vision, and this is the second time it has almost gotten him killed. I'm curious as to what he's really attempting to accomplish with these plays.
Now caught him, going to go through on Hottie and Bruce, and they're going to get caught out by the side. Carmony is just right-clicking his way to the through, goes to 15-2. Zillion finds a kill. They're trying to do what they can at Maverick. Besterin's here on the side. The Predator's coming through, finds the ultimate on Malzahar, drags him into the team. Carmony says, bring me another. However, Songos going to find the ultimate. Immediately, the Black Shield and the Zillion ultimate come through. Neither ends up being necessary. But we're just going to see the Schism push carry on. Laxon finds the flash bind into the Maverick lockup. Ultimate finds another kill in Laxon's pocket. This is, I believe, the end of the end.
Another Pantheon all coming in.
Hottie
Gold
Williams
delivery system.
the ground. Skyland Steer is running in, trying to find some more people, trying to walk towards Carmony. Carmony says, "Get away from me." Finds himself another kill. Bruce Juice. The Carmony's gonna find another kill on Navarus.
He's got these non-stop fights. I mean, FG tries very hard to make something happen here, but it isn't going to ever.
I would say the only downside of this game is that your prediction will not come true. I do not believe we will make it to the 21-minute mark you predicted. However, I don't think either of us would have predicted this happening.
No, I certainly, if you had told me 18 minutes and 50 seconds ago that Schism would be knocking on the Nexus at this point, I would not have believed you.
You're gonna see Steven Air picking him another kill. The ultimate's not on Maverick, but I don't think he's worried about you. He's trying to dies to the Malazar E. Maybe they'll wait out another 2 minutes just to make a prediction true. Nah, Karma's trying to end it. Maverick's trying to sit on it. Actually, you know what? They might get pushed out here. We might still see the Cinco Gazer prediction come true. They might, have a little fun for just a minute, just to make sure Cinco Gazer's dream comes true. After
that, I do not think that will be the case, unfortunately. Oh, no, here we go.
Harmony trying to just, another triple kill. I think it's happening. No! What are you doing, Besterin? Come on, and they're gonna end the game.
A 19-minute and 36-second game.
Yeah. So, that is a 2-0 for Schism Esports. I'm seeing numbers on my board that I don't want to tell the viewers, but it involves a lot of gold and a lot of damage dealt by a small girl with a gun. So, yeah. That was a slightly different game than game one, I will say. And we saw a little bit of the elements that Furious Gentz brought to game one. They tried to convert over to game two. You saw the counter jungling coming from Hottie Williams. You saw a very, very beautiful first blood come from Hottie Williams level 2 ganking in the bot lane. But things rather quickly spiraled out of control from there. And you see it time and time again on the side of Furious Gentz. You see these games where they rally together as individual players, find a little bit of lean in their laning to get ahead, but they consistently fall behind to these top teams in their teamfight play. And it's unfortunate. We said it earlier, it's disheartening to see a little bit that they show up as individual players so often, and when it comes to the sort of groups, the group phase, the pickoffs, making sure they've found their optimal targets, they tend to crumble.
It really is a shame because, they show these great signs of life, and then 10 minutes in the game, it all comes crashing down on them. So anyway, I'm curious. MVP for the series, who'd you give it to?
Honestly, well, it's rough because if we look at game one, it's weird because everyone wants to watch that game and just say that is a 20-2 Tristana that obviously carried the hell out of that game. But if you look at game one, I would almost venture to say that Carmony was a non-factor that game. You actually saw Bruce Juice go ahead of him in lane and almost put him on the back heel in lane. And a lot of that was Stevenator. A lot of the efforts came from him in that game one to really, he did the most damage, I believe, overall, as well as really putting a lot of pressure through on the Galio. So if I had to give it to somebody, now that I think about sort of facilitating Carmony in game two, as well as, what they had to do a lot of in game one. Because I don't know. Because you want to give it to Stevenator in game two for the Zillion, but a lot of it was Carmony before they ever grouped up for the fights. But Laxon was there for him throughout that bot lane, and you saw a lot of the clutch bindings come through for him. Definitely got to see him on that Morgana pick. Definitely put in a lot of work. So,
yeah, it's a toss-up between Steve and Carmony for me as well. I believe, especially in game one, Carmony was a non-factor, basically didn't really contribute anything meaningful to the game, mostly just because almost all the fights were won off of the back of the Galio Scion ults. But Carmody did basically solo carry game 2 with some help from Laxon and a little bit of enabling by the Zilean pick. It really, I mean, the Zilean ult really wasn't even like procced that many times in the game.
I think it was used a couple times on a suicide dive. Wasn't really that major.
I'll give it to Steve. I like to see these team fight mid laners really pop off. Well, Carmody got the last interview. I think I'd actually be more interested in hearing from Mav. If possible.
Really? I was gonna give it to Laxon, but you know what? We'll do it with Mav.
Mav or Laxon, either one is good. You pick.
I'm gonna pick Laxon.
All right.
Well, we have Mav.
What?
We're giving you the interview. Would you rather we pull someone else in?
Yeah, pick Laxon. He's cool. What?
All right, we're getting Laxon.
You're a good man, Mav.
What?
Get him.
All right,
Alright.
so
We are here with Laxon.
Hey guys.
what's going on, Lax?
Nothing. How you guys doing?
I'm
Pretty good.
I got
So how
time.
does it feel to finally get Morgana and be able to not be on the bench?
Feels like week 1 when we were getting those 20-minute wins again.
Bro, I was gonna say, was this? I didn't think. Was this the first time you got to play Morgana, or was it that you got to play Morgana
this
another
is-
time in it?
I've played it a couple times in GXPC, and give me just 1 minute here. I'm sorry about this. This is the 278th time I've gotten to play Morgana this season, actually.
I meant, you know what? That's fair. You're a good man. You know what I meant. Whatever.
No, I know. It's like the 3rd or 4th. After week 1, they wouldn't give it to me anymore, and then I didn't play for a while.
Gotcha. I was gonna say. I remember if you got to play it week 1, and then everyone sort
Yeah,
of.
I got to play it
I
2
remember it's
games in
just.
week 1.
I remember it was funny. We saw it so often against SKZ. Even when you weren't playing in the games, we'd just see a Morgana band get thrown at SKZ, and I was confused for the longest time. I was like, why? Who plays Morgana on this team?
Yeah,
And then
well, you
everyone
got to
was
see
just
it.
kind of like, Laxon. And I'm like, oh, well, now I get to see it. And what was the? So you drafted a little bit differently going from game 1 to game 2. You shifted a little bit of the bands towards what had worked out for Furious Gentz. Were you worried at all from game 1 to game 2? Because I mean, their AD carry that they brought out definitely put Carmody on the back heel early in game 1. Definitely taking those 2 kills early.
No,
So
I'm sorry. It definitely caused some problems, I was going to say, with the poke damage. But we didn't rotate the bands through the ADC. We weren't necessarily scared of that. We rotated the bands knowing that Songless wants that Morgana, so there was a chance he wasn't going to ban it, and he also doesn't play Zilean, which is basically one of our win conditions. So getting 2 of our, I don't want to say mains because Steve hates playing Zil, but I will say 2 of our mains just really kind of buried them early.
most definitely. And I would say Cinco was not a fan of the Skarner jungle, but I think it definitely did its job there to keep.
Yeah, my early skepticism aside, Bestron did play pretty good Skarner. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, nothing's like a Skarner who's invulnerable to CC charging at the whole team. So definitely made it a little easier.
Yeah, sped up by Zilean ult and given a black shield is really not a lot you can do. So
Yeah.
I'm curious now with these Schism rosters sort of getting to a point where it's settling down. Are you still finding a sort of a voice to cling to? Is there a sort of a central shot caller here on the side of Schism, or are you just kind of individual players looking to kind of band together? Like what's the dynamic now look for Schism?
I'm more of
Well,
a sub, moving more towards a
yeah,
manager
yeah,
for
yeah.
the team now, so I can give you at least what I've seen in this game. It's definitely Bestron makes his voice heard, Steve makes his voice heard, and really just even, Carmody and Mav can throw in opinions. We have certainly a shot caller in fights, but if somebody starts to engage, we're not afraid to offer up an opinion. We're not afraid, like we were pushing mid in game 1. As we're pushing mid, or as we were chasing them, we started talking about Baron, and that's why we pulled off, because it's not really just this one rigid, live by one person, die by one person. It's more of a
Gotcha.
fluid team where we're allowed to realize that other people know what's best in certain times, so we kind of go off of each other.
That's what I was looking for. That's definitely what I was looking for the Schism roster, because it's rough when you go through a team like Schism where you switch up a lot of your roster here and there. You bring in this sub and that sub. That it's if one of them was sort of the central shot caller and you pull them out all of a sudden, then it sort of throws a little bit of disarray into the team. So if it's good to see a team that like Schism that has a lot of players they're able to shoulder a lot of their own skill to be able to make their opinions heard. So I'm glad to hear that. And going forward with Schism, I believe that I don't have the records in front of me right now, but I believe Schism is sitting 8-6.
Yeah, we're tied for I think third between
Yeah.
however many teams are up there.
Definitely making your way up the
I believe
ranks.
it is just you and TPR right now, if I'm not mistaken.
And we do play them on Sunday, so
Yeah,
it'll
so
be
that
us
match is
after
Sunday.
Sunday.
I was getting into that. I was thinking of the schedule, and I thought you were getting close to the third. And looking forward to the match with you against TPR. And do you know, is this going to be the roster we're most likely to be looking at for a Schism?
I don't know if I can say too much just on, I don't want to hand TPR the sheet if they have a practice before we still have that extra day.
That's fair.
I think the fairest thing I can say is that I think over the past few days we've proven that we can function with the different members of the roster. We don't have to be locked down to certain people.
Mhm.
So it's not like a 5-man roster you have to be scared of.
Right.
It's the whole roster that you have to be worried, because again, mid-game, like after game 1, if we don't like it, swap people in. That we're allowed to do that. So you kind of have to be careful with us, because we have a lot of functional members on the team, not just 5 functional members and the oh my god, Carmony's not here, we need someone person.
Right. Yeah, I was definitely looking for that. It's very nice to have that on a team where your subs aren't just backup people, and it's just their actual threats you can rotate in if something isn't working or you need a different champion pool to really access at the time. It's a more pro play type thing to see things like that where you can rotate out certain laners or certain champion pools, and it's nice to see that Schism is really opening up to being able to do that. So I think that's all I had to say. If you have anything else, Cinco Gazer?
No, but I do want to hear them shout outs though.
All right, I got a few. I hope you guys don't mind.
Go for it.
First of all, I want to shout out Camsterdam in Twitch chat. He is the better me, and I love him dearly. Mav, coming back after having to miss the last game and just kind of deciding to win top, playing well in those games. Steve, sucking it up, playing Zillion. No one wants to play Zillion, but you need a Zillion, so you gotta show love there. I would give Carmony a shout out, but he already knows he's great. You really just fucking keep doing you, kid. Bestrin, coming in late to the roster, being a great shot caller. The only request I have for Bestrin is I don't want him to go to NFG2. Just then every jungler we've had goes there. That would kind of be upsetting, but shit happens. I understand.
Oof.
And Nick, because he is best boy ever, and I love him dearly. He is the light in my darkness and the love of my life.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for joining us, Lexon. Glad you had a lot of insight to bring us to the Schism roster. I've definitely been looking at them on the up and up, and it's nice to see them really coming up and meeting their potential. So I'm looking forward to them in the weeks coming forward, especially looking forward to Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday is day to be here. Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I think I have to trash talk on stream. I think that's a requirement.
Oh yeah.
Because
Go
we have
for it.
beef with TPR. Canadian champ is a big stinky, and I don't like them, and I don't like anyone on TPR. And you're all meanie heads, and you can go do bad things.
There we go.
Yeah,
All
rough
right.
words.
All right, you
Wow.
heard it here. TPR, all big stinky heads. So we'll
Ooh.
see how that pans out for SKZ on Sunday.
All right. And with that being said, we'll be getting to our closing here. So just letting you guys know, now that you're hooked into the Games XP Championship, that was a 2-0 for this. Was a 2-0 for the side of Schism Esports. And for everybody here, make sure that you're plugged in on the side of Games XP. Follow our website. We got Twitter, Facebook, our Twitch, of course, if you're not following that. Subscribe to the YouTube, and join the Discord if you're not in there. And of course, one other thing, we've got a little thing going on. A giveaway to get $50. To get yourself that, all you got to do is follow a couple hunting steps. And what you do for this one, I believe this is the last step, to get 5 entries into this giveaway, all you got to do is follow the Twitch and subscribe to the YouTube. 2 really easy steps. It's like 2 button clicks. Most of you are capable of that, I hope. So make sure you get that done. Get yourself some entries into a giveaway, and get yourself some money. Who doesn't like money? I like money. I don't know about you, but that's all I got. Thanks for joining us, guys. Again, I'm Sky Sinel.
And I'm Cinco Gazer. Still here, by the way.
Good stuff. And we will catch you guys tomorrow with, I believe, let me actually check before I sign off and sound like an idiot. Tomorrow we will have you with White Lotus versus Reign of Kings will be our first. We got 3 matches tomorrow, actually, so stay tuned Saturday because it is going to be action-packed. First match is going to be White Lotus versus the Reign of Kings at 7 o'clock Eastern. So join us for that. Catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.